Small town meets big conveniences. A lot of people seem to forget about the city called Pleasant Grove here in Utah. That's because it's up against the hill in the city. We are in front of the museum here, you guys. We're going to be going over the 5 different reasons why people live in Pleasant Grove. A lot of it has to do with price point, location, and conveniences, and there's a lot of businesses here. This is the Pioneer Museum. Pleasant Grove was established in the early 1800s. It used to be called the Battle Creek City, and that is because of the battle between the Ute Indians and this early settlers here. Now, Pleasant Grove has over 64,000 residents over here. You've got almost 6,000 acres of land, and a lot of it is hillside land. There's a lot of farming that used to happen over here. You used to have peaches, peach trees, apple trees, pear trees, a lot of different vineyards, and there was actually a lot of early settlers who were farmers here in Pleasant Grove. Now, Pleasant Grove is like a stomping ground for me, okay? Because I grew up in the neighboring city. We are about 45 minutes from Salt Lake City, but the reason why a lot of people forget about Pleasant Grove, which I'm gonna call it PG throughout the rest of this video, because that's the only time you're gonna hear me say Pleasant Grove. Everybody calls it PG. And the reason why it kind of is a forgotten city is because it's next to 2 big neighboring cities. You've got Orem and you've got American Fork and Lehi on the outskirts of Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove does hit up to the mountain. We're gonna go see some of the neighborhoods up there. We're gonna see there's large houses up there. We've got condos, we've got townhouses, and we have a lot of businesses here in Pleasant Grove. So we're gonna go visit it all, and we're gonna visit the icon of purple turtle. I'm gonna tell you what that is and as we go along. But until then, you guys, let's go check out the schools and the neighborhoods and why people live in PG. We are driving on 100 East and crossing through Center Street. This is a very busy road, and this is going to be a trend that you're going to find here in Pleasant Grove, known as PG, and that is that the roads are not in infrastructure in supporting the population that is happening here in Pleasant Grove because of the way that it originally was structured. You have a lot of old homes. We're passing an elementary school right now. This road is a road that connects you to the neighboring city of Cedar Hills. We're not going to highlight Cedar Hills, but if you are interested in me highlighting it, let me know. It's next to Highland and Alpine and Cedar Hills and American Fork, but it literally has like nothing other than houses and schools there. This is the cemetery here in Pleasant Grove. I used to hold my breath in high school, like a bad luck if you breathe next to a cemetery. I don't know if you guys believe in something like that. But this is a very busy road, but yet it still is a 1-lane road as we're driving. We're on our way to go see the Manila High School. Pleasant Grove, if I were to think about why people live in Pleasant Grove, one, you can get some really incredible views on the mountain, and we'll show you that. I'm gonna actually swing around really quick. I'm gonna show you guys, this is Pleasant Grove Junior High School, and I don't think I can enter that way. I want you guys to see these mountain views, okay? So Pleasant Grove, this is the junior high. I went to Lone Peak High School, and Pleasant Grove and us were very competitive with the high school. Look at these mountains right here. We are in the middle of half spring, half winter. So we like to call it, where Utah's trying to decide if we're gonna have a spring or if we're just gonna jump to summer. And you still have the snow on the mountains. The majestic views that you can get in Pleasant Grove are probably the best that you can get besides Alpine, and Provo. Yeah, it has really majestic views. Very, very old homes. You have more old homes than you do have new homes, and that's because the land is maxed out. That's why your streets are smaller streets, even though they're busy. All right, we just picked a random neighborhood to drive through. This is a more newer development. It's actually pretty rare to find a newer development here in Pleasant Grove due to the land gap. Now, what has been happening is farmers are selling off their land, and so you're getting pockets of a lot of new builds. You're not going to see massive subdivisions coming in because of the land decrease opportunity. With that being said, there are different parts to Pleasant Grove. You have the old town Pleasant Grove, and you have the new business area of Pleasant Grove. The new business area, which we will show you, has the condos and the townhouses built up. You have a lot of good conveniences in Pleasant Grove, which we're also going to show you as well. Homes like these are going for around upwards of $600,000 to $700,000. You can get homes in the lower range. Now, they're going to be older homes, and they are going to be needing a lot of infrastructure help because Pleasant Grove is an older city. Early 1800s is when it was established. So you can imagine Now, the type of people and demographic what you're going to look at is basically people who love their land. People in Pleasant Grove love land. They love having extra garages. They love having their RV pads. You have horse property patches over here. People are still trying to be farmers and gardeners in this area. So it's hit and miss on the type of neighborhood that you're going to get. We've got old cellars. We've got huge hay barn areas. We've got everything in the diversities here in Pleasant Grove. So it's going to depend on your vibe on how I would guide you to what kind of neighborhood you want to be in. But you can get a price around $400,000. Now, homes like these were established early in the 90s. They're sitting on some really nice land, and people who know that have been subdividing their land and selling it and building houses like I just showed you over there. We're going to show you a lot of different neighborhoods because the diversity in Pleasant Grove, I think, is my favorite part. Notice that 3-car garage, extra RV pads, you're getting the land, you're getting the boats. These are homes I would say similarly built like we saw in the Draper video. The link will be above for that Draper video if you're interested, where you're getting this, look at this over here, show this majestic mountain view. People love living so close to the mountain, but not close enough that you're worried about, hazards of snow or fire. But again, you're getting these 90 vibe homes with more land. And honestly, that's kind of my vibe. I like the newer build, but you don't get as much land with newer build, especially anywhere in Utah. You're not going to get land like that. So this type of home is kind of more my style because I know I'm going to get the land and I'm getting the diversification in the neighborhood. Every home is going to look different. We have literally been within a half a mile of these 3 neighborhoods, and I want to show you how diversification this is. Now we're back to the 90s where it's a smaller home. So our first one was the new build. The second neighborhood is more of an upscale but still older homes. Now you're dealing with homes that are more affordable in this range. You could probably get a home like this around the $550,000 range, maybe maybe the high 400s, maybe 494, just kind of depending. But you're noticing that literally every street in every neighborhood is going to have a different vibe with the homes and the styles and the price points. So it's really all over the board on what you can afford in Pleasant Grove. Now let's go look at some of the neighborhoods that are in the mountains that get you those views. Ready? Welcome to Discovery Park, you guys. This thing was built when I was like 13 years old, and they've definitely upgraded it. Side angle, Kylan, side angle. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Okay, Kylan thought, my camera guy thought this was a good idea. I used to come to this park when I was 13 years old, and, they've done a really good job at keeping it together. But of course, there's still snow here in Utah. Okay, let's do a walkout really quick. Pleasant Grove is a very family-oriented city, like most of the cities here in Utah. You are going to have a high predominance of Christianity, mainly known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and Mormons, but you're going to get a good vibe of family feel here. This park is the biggest park they have in Pleasant Grove, and it's called the Discovery Park by doTERRA, and it's so beautiful. In fact, they've done a really good job at upkeeping with it. You also have the baseball fields, you've got the tennis field, tennis courts over there. They have a walking trail all the way around. You can ride your bikes with your kids, and it's really in the heart of all the family neighborhoods here in Pleasant Grove. So I used to homeschool my kids, and this is an incredible thing next to the Central Elementary School. We are just by Center Street in Pleasant Grove. This is a space center. So they have a beautiful space center aura where you can look up at the stars, and it's a dome. They have fun little space cadet for kids to travel in space and know how to do team working. And they outsource to a lot of different schools. So Pleasant Grove is really, really known for the family orientation of wanting to bring education together as a community. We got this view of the majestic mountains that you're about to see on a drone. Wait till you see the view behind me. Okay, let me explain to you what you're looking at in this drone area. You've got Pleasant Grove, which is nestled up against this mountain right here, and you have potential opportunities to get a home with views like this. I can literally see the Kennecott copper mine all the way down past Nephi in this city of area of Pleasant Grove. Again, this is a beautiful area for families. You get the conveniences of the cities because we're going to go show you the conveniences in just a minute, but I wanted you to see the majestic views that you're getting in Pleasant Grove with the Ma and Pa town feel. Now, Pleasant Grove has hit and miss opportunities when it comes to a new build versus an older home with more land. So stay tuned, you guys. I love Pleasant Grove. I love its potential. And if you are interested in buying in Pleasant Grove, leave me a comment down there. All right, we're no longer in Pleasant Grove, but we're about 5 minutes out of the city. And we're actually called the city called Linden. They're building a new church, the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, called a temple, and it's being constructed here. And it's a big news, which means it actually helps land property and house values just go up. So the neighborhood across this area, the values only increase because people who are Mormon love being next to a temple. So there you go. And this is in Linden, which is very similar to Pleasant Grove in the sense of it's a hit and miss in wherever neighborhood you're looking at. And they don't have any conveniences in Linden. Linden shares between Orem, Pleasant Grove, and American Fork as well. All right, we're driving on State Street here in Pleasant Grove. You're driving past a Walmart. You're gonna have pretty much every convenience you're looking for. One of my favorite things about Pleasant Grove is the Ma and Pa restaurants. You are gonna get the main chain restaurants for sure. You're gonna get all the different types of gas stations. You're gonna get the Arctic Circle, the McDonald's, the Arby's, the Burger King. You're gonna get all of that. You're gonna get all your car conveniences like I'm seeing right here. You know, you've got Riley's old tires, and then I think I just drove Big O tires right there. You've got a diversity of food. Like I'm seeing pho over here. You got the sushi. You've got everything. That's what I love it. And there's a railroad that goes through Pleasant Grove as well. And on the other side of the railroad, they have even smaller mom and pa restaurants. And it's just hard to even decide where you want to go. But all of it is going to be on this State Street here. State Street connects to American Fork, connects to Linden, connects to Orem, connects to Provo. It is the main street that drives all the way through this area. But I want to show you the business park area as well, which is close to the I-15 highway, which is the newer development. So let's go over there and check it out. All right, we're at the business park area here in Pleasant Grove, and that's doTERRA we just drove past. They're starting to get a lot more conveniences around here as far as restaurants and drive-thrus. I've got a Dutch Bros, a Burger King. I've got a Hyatt hotel that just brand new went up. There's a lot of condos in this area as well because it's really close up to the I-15. So now we're coming up to the really busy, what it's called Valley Grove, kind of like Pleasant Grove area. Oh, I'm hitting a red light. But there's some big buildings up here, big buildings next to the freeway in the area over there. You've got little conveniences coming up, popping up everywhere. You've got the strips of the restaurants popping up everywhere around here. I'm going to show you kind of the gem of Pleasant Grove, which unfortunately it's closing down, but it was a little village where you can explore kind of like a live Nintendo, I say Nintendo like it's a trademark, but a live video game where you can walk through and it's an experience. Now, I've done it before around Christmas time. It was really fun, a village where you actually can go and do a, what do you call it? Like not like an escape room, but like a, what is it called? A mission, kind of like a mission. They have the grid. The grid is just right behind the camera behind me where it is go-karts, massive go-karts. It's quite expensive, but it's super fun. I've done that one before. I'm going to show you around this park. So we're driving down a road to get to what used to be called the Evermore Park, and there's a ton of condos just right around here. I would say there's a good 7 different complexes of just condos. And then when it comes to business parks, you've got a surplus of 7+ large buildings. A lot of your large corporations are choosing Pleasant Grove because of the land opportunity, and it's right next to the I-15. So where we were just on with the Center Street is more of the old town Pleasant Grove. Now this is more of the new town where you get the new commercial development down here. This was Evermore right here, okay? Beautiful park, beautiful buildings inside, gave a vibe of mysterious and magical and witchery and Harry Potter vibe, but it's been sold out. They couldn't keep the money to keep it up and running, but they've been told that someone's going to put a restaurant in there where it's an experience, where you feel like you're going into an old village vibe. They're trying to bring more of like these Disney experiences for families in these areas. Orem just introduced one at the University Mall where it is a whole magical walk-through area. But this is as far as what it looks like for Pleasant Grove. I can see massive townhouses over there. You're going to get more of that city vibe here, whereas we were just up in the hill. You're going to get more of that old farm, old houses mixed with new vibe. But we're going to go to lunch at a very iconic place in Pleasant Grove called Purple Turtle. Let's head there. We're driving past something that you might be familiar with a TV show called The Secret Life of Mormon Wives. Jay-Z Styles is the owner of one of the people from The Lives of Mormon Wives. I'll be honest, I used to have hair extensions, and I got their hair extensions before she was on the show, and they're actually really great quality, I'll say that. But her hub is in Pleasant Grove. It's like this new claim to fame, so I had to show it to you. But now let's go to Purple Turtle and get the real stuff. Okay guys, welcome to Purple Turtle, where fast food grows. And everything is purple and turtles.
Hey, I can help you guys whenever you're ready.
What are you guys famous for?
We're famous for our fish and our shakes.
You're famous for your fish?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. This is what Purple Turtle is famous for. They're halibut fish sticks. I found it quite strange. But you also get some bread, and you get these little chip thingies, and you can't forget the pink sauce. If you guys know what this is, leave a comment down there below. Utah is known for this sauce. So I'm gonna try the halibut. Let's see. I don't usually eat fried food, but here we go. Oh, that's very moist. Okay, if you're in the area, come try Purple Turtle. Why I have a mouthful? Let me just tell you this. If you are interested in using my services as a real estate agent, there's a link down there below. Click it. We can set up a virtual time to have a conversation on what areas you want to live here in Utah. And until then, you guys, I'll see you in my next video.